alright, it's not about that. I had to relocate because he was interested in me teaching there basically. So now let me just keep going. Let me just go back into what I was doing. Ah, so okay. Phone is acting up again. Let me just go back to what I was talking about. Basically, I was talking about how, going back to Isaiah 61 verse 2, how the Most High would avenge us, or rather, Yahweh Shai would avenge us. Let me get that. Let me get that. Come on. So this is the book of this is the book of Revelation 18 verse 20. Revelation 18 verse 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. Right, that's the good news right there. We are going to get revenge, because first and foremost, I like to give all praises, honor, and glory once again unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rachak, Wadash, okay? This is going to be served as part 2 of this whole campaign, okay? Because, I was pushed out of the place I was in the camp before. Really nice spots, nice shade. We could go there and to talk for hours. But anyway, we're back. We're still doing this work, we're still doing this work, up until the spirit is exhausted, and then we come back again next week. But anyway, once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rachak, Wadash. And basically, what I was going into is how we will be avenged, okay? The Most High will bring vengeance upon the heathen and upon Esau Edom for all the weakness, for all the evil that they have done unto us. Because right now in the world, Esau will teach, in his present Christianity, forgive and forget, forgive and forget, that was, forgive and forget your brother, love your brother, be your brother's keeper. Don't think about revenge, all those times are past, all those times are past and all that. There's no need for vengeance or revenge against, people, against people for their wickedness anymore. But that's not the case, man, because it's a righteous thing to want revenge. And let me get that. I believe that is Ecclesiasticus 25. It's a righteous thing to want to see the fall and destruction of your enemies. And Yahushai coming did not change that, because even Yahushai wanted to see the fall and destruction of this kingdom, man. Alright, so let me get that. Right, this is Ecclesiasticus 25 verse 7, and it reads, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. Ecclesiasticus 25 verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. I've already established who the enemy of our people are. Everybody else, okay? The truthers and even the truthers, because even the truthers have become, they become enemies to themselves, okay? They basically become they're basically against their own body. The truthers are basically enemies of themselves, because they don't realize that they are destroying themselves with their wicked actions. They are destroying themselves by following this wicked ass society. They are destroying themselves by following Esau Edom. Right? But our people, because our people originally were meant to follow the Most High and the Most High only, okay? Only Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You can't take up another leader and believe that he can lead you better than the Most High can. That's not how it works, man. Our people are meant to follow Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, okay? Not no Jesus Christ, but yeah, not no God that they serve in these Christian churches, man. But it's also supposed to be the Most High and His Son alone. Alright, that's plain as hell. So let me continue in that Isaiah 61. Alright. Isaiah 61 verse 3. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that he might be glorified. And this is going into how we will be changed, okay? How after we come back to this truth, how after we repent and we are delivered, we are going to be changed, we're going to be changed out of these bodies, out of these bodies that are basically chains of darkness, prisons. We're going to be turned from prisoners into kings, okay? From servants back to kings again. No more going to be in these chains of darkness. No more in these corruptible bodies, in these mortal coils, basically. Flesh, flesh that hates. Okay, flesh that is going to the flesh that hates, and the flesh that kills us. Okay, that's a lesson right there. The flesh that hates. Yeah, I'm going to put that. That's a lesson right there. So okay, maybe just quickly write that down. That's a lesson right there. The flesh that hates. Alright, yeah, I'm basically this flesh that is destroying that is destroying us daily, day by day. And we put in the spirits, the incorruptible spirits that cannot be destroyed. That's the reason why we'll be immortal, because we've taken out this flesh that is mortal, this flesh that was meant to destroy, that was meant to be destroyed. Because guess what, man? Our people aren't supposed to be in these bodies. We're not supposed to be in these bodies. So how can you invest in a body that doesn't even belong to you? They are not even meant to be in. When you realize that they are soon going to trade up for a far better body, man. Because in the kingdom, and these are our bodies will be able to do. Our small minds and these limited minds that are in these bodies that we have now can't even fathom it. You will be able to fathom the things that our bodies are going to be able to do in the kingdom. Alright, the most I got, as the scripture statement, the most I could take away, all our mourning, all our tears, all our pain and everything that and everything and all the sadness and sorrow that we've been forced, that we've been going through on this side. So let me get that in the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter. Right, because guess what? In the kingdom, there's not going to be any Israelite that will be busy, that will be crying for that will be crying. Okay, there isn't going to be any tears in the kingdom. Because unless of course the tears of Edomites, but that doesn't count because nobody gives a damn about Esau. Not even Esau, man. That's why you see these Edomites, they never admit to being Edomites because they don't even care for that heritage. Nobody cares about Esau, man. That's another lesson right there. Nobody cares about Esau. So okay, I'm on the road right now. That's another lesson right there. Nobody cares about Esau. That's another lesson right there. So let me get this. Isaiah 14 verse 1, and it reads, Isaiah 14 verse 1, for Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. Alright? And it's something I have to stress that because now you have people that will say that, oh, the Most High came for everybody. Salvation is for everybody. You can't they can't say that only Israelites can be saved because that is not the case, okay? We see it clearly written here that the Most High said that the scripture said that was. And the Most High will yet choose Israel. In other words, our people. That's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians once again. You are the chosen people of the Most High, and you're the ones that He will choose, okay? So continuing on. And set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And now, I'm thinking about those so-called Jews that are living in the Holy Land right now. I don't even want to start going into them right now because that's a whole other topic, okay? Because now you hear what he said, man. That the Most High will bring our people back to our people, the true Israelites, okay? Not those fake ones that are pretending to be Israelites, but the real Israelites. And if you see that and how can that be anti-Semitic? If I'm a Shemite myself, how can I be anti-Semitic if I'm a Shemite myself? How can I be against myself? Especially if I'm pushing the correct 100% truth. Because you Edomites are the real anti-Semites, okay? Because you did worse than what happened during the Second World War event of what, okay? I don't want to mention it because YouTube, don't underestimate YouTube, man. You could actually, bring down this whole video just because you mentioned that word, the H word, and that H word. And because you mentioned it, YouTube can bring this whole video down. All right, but the real anti-Semites are the ones that put the true Israelites in captivity and refuse to give them back their real heritage, refuse to tell them who they were, and continue to call them Negroes, call them niggers, call them spics, call them wetbacks, call them Indians, which that word Indian go back to the word savage. Okay, so now continuing. So now continuing from verse 2. Isaiah 14 verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And that right there is true reparations, true justice according to the scriptures. To have rulership over your oppressors, to be in rulership over those that puts you, to have those that in captivity, that put you in captivity. So now let me go to this. All right. So this is the book of Revelation 13 verse 10. Revelation 13 verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And that's telling you that what? You Edomites, you devils are going into slavery, alright? That is your fate. That's what the Most High prepared for you. Captivity, okay? Perpetual servitude under the 12 tribes of Israel, the true elect, okay? The righteous of the house of Israel, okay? In fact, the whole 12 tribes of Israel, they are going into slavery under us, okay? That is your fate. That is how the end will be, because let me do that. That is how the end will be for you, right? And after that, eventually you'll be destroyed, of course. But that is basically what the summary of the whole scriptures, okay? And this rulership of demons that you believe that will last forever, because what does the scriptures say? That their inward thoughts, that their houses shall continue to all generations. Guess what? It is not going to continue to all generations, okay? Because it's coming to an end. And when that end comes, Allah will put you in chains, fetters of irons, okay? What the scriptures also talk about that you shall have their kings in chains and their nobles. Their nobles in fetters of iron. Can I get an amen? In case anybody is still following me up till now, can I get an amen? Right, because that's what the scriptures really talk about. Come on. Hold on, Saka. Wait, later. I have many tabs open. Alright, here it is. Psalms 149. Psalm 149 verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgments written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh. So when the apostles and the elders talk about how all the kinds of evil all the kinds of things that they'll be doing to Esau, whips of whips of fire, with thorns on the sides, beating Edomites to death and then bringing them back to life, making you work 24 hours, out there day in day out, your only rest being on the Sabbath. Guess what? That is going to be considered an honor in the kingdom. Israelites are going Jakes are going to be lining up just to get a chance to get as one of you devils, especially you elites, man. That's going to be an honor in the kingdom to be able to meditate that terror that the scriptures talk about. It's going to be an honor in the kingdom, all right? That's basically how it's going to be. So yeah. Let me just end it right here. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Rachach Badash, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom. It's over.